His Excellency Mr. Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, President of the Republic of Suriname, First Lady, Ibu Negara Republik Indonesia Suriname, Madam Melissa Santokhi Sinaseri, His Excellency Mr. Marunispi, Speaker of the National Assembly of the Republic of Suriname, Excellencies Ministers, dear colleague ambassadors, Member of Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Goedenavond, Sugeng Dalu, Selamat Malam. On 17 August 1945, the founding fathers of Indonesia declared the independence of Indonesia. This evening, we are gathering here to mark the 77th anniversary of the Independence Day of the Republic of Indonesia. This is indeed an honor for me, Your Excellency, and Ibu, and my colleague, to welcome you on this auspicious occasion in commemorating the Independence Day of the Republic of Indonesia. Therefore, allow me to take this opportunity to express my highest appreciation for your presence here in this precious evening. Since its proclamation of the independence on 17 August 1945, the Republic of Indonesia continues to make every endeavor in giving substance to the independence and to build the nation. There have been some great challenges and trials on the process. Amid the tireless effort to develop the nation, as if the trial is still there, in the last 2.5 years, we have been going through the COVID-19 pandemic. Throughout the year 2020 and 2021, and even until now, the COVID-19 pandemic continues to be among us. The impact of the pandemic are profound. It has delayed years of sustainable development goals achievement for all countries. Aside from the pandemic, the world also faces other challenges such as conflicts and tensions in various parts of the world. This year's commemoration of the Independence Day upholds the theme Recover Faster, Rise Stronger. Therefore, strengthening collaboration among nations can help us, Indonesia, to recover faster and rise stronger amid the pandemic and these global challenges. With all its challenges and difficulties, Indonesia has managed to survive the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is not great, yet it is encouraging. Up to mid-year of 2022, the national budget is surplus of approximately $7 billion. The Indonesia's economy grows positively at 5.44% from the second semester of the year 2022 and managed to control the inflation rate at approximately 4.9%. This number is lower than the average inflation rate experienced by other ASEAN countries, which is 7%, and even far lower than the average inflation rate experienced by other developed countries, which is 9%. Nonetheless, however great difficulties and challenges are, as a nation, Indonesia continues to strive to make every endeavor to achieve its benevolent goals as mandated by the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia. In his speech at the People's National Assembly on 16 August 2022, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Joko Widodo, highlighted the 5 agendas of great importance for the way forward of the development of the nation. 1. Continuing the industrialization of the natural resources. 2. Strengthening the optimizing in developing clean energy and green economy. 3. Strengthening the political, social, and economic development and legal protection for the people. 4. Developing and supporting the small and medium enterprises, including expanding of their inclusion in the economic digitalization. 5. The development of the new capital of Indonesia, Ibu Kota Nusantara. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, amid the volatile global economic dynamics and geopolitical challenges, Indonesia relentlessly strives to contribute to the establishment of a world order based on freedom, lasting peace, and social justice, as mandated by the 1945 Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia. To achieve these goals, since its independence, Indonesia has established diplomatic relations with most of the member countries of the United Nations. To support the vision and this noble mission, Indonesia has established 132 diplomatic and consular missions spread all over the world. In facing various challenges and trials, Indonesia has proven itself as a resilient nation. Indonesia has managed to control the COVID-19 pandemic in a well-measured effort. Indonesia has also gained a rapid international trust. Indonesia was accepted as the peace and harmony bridge between Russia and Ukraine, despite the high geopolitical tension. Indonesia was given the trust by the United Nations as the champion of Global Crisis Response Group to handle the global crisis. Starting from December 1st, 2021, Indonesia has assumed the G20 presidency. And next year, in 2023, Indonesia will be the chairman of ASEAN. With this position, Indonesia has a great opportunity to contribute to the establishment of world-lasting peace. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. From the historical perspective, the relations between Indonesia and Suriname dates back to 132 years ago with the arrival of the Japanese immigrants whose cultural legacies have become an integral part of the Surinamese nation. Since the establishment of diplomatic relations between the Republic of Indonesia and the Republic of Suriname, the bilateral relations have continued to develop. The two governments show their commitment in substantiating the bilateral relations. We took note in the past. I took note in the past. Both countries had exchanged high-level visits, such as the visit of Excellency President Ronald Venesiaan to Indonesia in 1994, the visit of the President Suharto to Suriname in 1995, and the visit of Excellency President Julius Wittenberg to Indonesia in 1997, and the most recent one, the visit of Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Her Excellency Retno L.W. Marsudi, in May 2019. I believe it is now indeed a high time for the two countries to have another exchange of high-level visits. In forging the bilateral cooperation, since 18 May 1992, the governments of the two countries have established a joint commission meeting in developing the bilateral relations in various fields. Just recently, on April 9, 2021, Indonesia and Suriname successfully convened the 6th Indonesian-Suriname Joint Commission meeting virtually. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the two countries gave their remark as a guidance of this meeting. It is agreed that the next 7 GCM will be held in Paramaribo in 2023. With this framework, the bilateral cooperation between Indonesia and Suriname is planned and developed. The good cooperation and relations between Indonesia and Suriname have also been reflected in the cooperation at the multilateral forum. The two countries supported each other. Recently, the government of the Republic of Indonesia received the full support from the government of the Republic of Suriname on the Indonesia's candidacy as the non-permanent membership to the United Nations Security Council for the period of 2019-2020. On Indonesia's candidacy as the member of the Human Rights Council for the year 2020-2022, and Indonesia's candidacy as the member of ECOSOC for the year of 2021-2023. In the last 5 years, we could take note that the government of Indonesia and Suriname have signed some important and significant bilateral cooperation as follows. The Memorandum of Understanding between the Center for Education and Training of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia and the Suriname Diplomatic Institute of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Suriname on Education and Diplomatic Training Cooperation, signed on 6 December 2018. The Reverse Linkage Technical Assistance Agreement on Artificial Insemination of Livestock between the Government of the Republic of Suriname, the Government of the Republic of Indonesia, and the Islamic Development Bank, signed on 5th July 2020 for the period of 3 years. The agreement between the Government of the Republic of Indonesia and the Government of the Republic of Suriname on visa exemption for holders of diplomatic, service, and ordinary passport, signed on May 2019 and entered into force on 1st September 2020. The agreement on the aid program for the welfare of Suriname's people of Indonesian descent in the amount of $100 from the Government of the Republic of Indonesia to the Government of the Republic of Suriname, signed on December 1st, 2021. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. However, it should be noted that there has been some dynamics on the agreement between the Government of the Republic of Indonesia and the Government of the Republic of Suriname on visa exemption for holders of diplomatic, service, and ordinary passport. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the free visa arrangement for the holders of ordinary passport was temporarily suspended. Surinames with ordinary passport entering Indonesia for tourism purposes are temporarily required to obtain a visa that can be applied online. I'm sad that this has to be happening, but however, I hope that this temporary arrangement could be lifted in due course, while the free visa arrangement for the diplomatic and service passport holders have already been implemented in a measured manner. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Based on the above note, the relationship between Indonesia and Suriname at the political as well as the social-cultural level has been developing very well. I do wish that the relationship between Indonesia and Suriname will go beyond the current level. However, I took note that the cooperation on the economic, trade and investment field are still very much limited. In this regard, Indonesian Embassy do not see any data on the investment cooperation on both sides. But we do have an encouraging data on the trade relation. Suriname remains as one of the relevant and important partners in trade with Indonesia in South America. In 2019, the trade volume of both countries reached $9.2 million. Though during COVID-19 pandemic, the trade was declining to $5.8 million in 2020 and $4.3 million in 2021. Again, pandemic COVID-19 has affected this trade relation. But I am confident that the spirit of friendship will guide Indonesia and Suriname to find ways to enhance and strengthen our economic relations. To improve the economic and trade trajectory between Indonesia and Suriname as well as the countries in the region, Indonesian government holds the Indonesia, Latin America and the Caribbean or INALAC Business Forum and Trade Expo Indonesia on annual basis. I hope that Suriname's businessmen will participate in the next INALAC Business Forum and Trade Expo Indonesia, which will be held on October 2022. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At a regional level, in the last several years, Indonesian government makes every endeavor to develop cooperation with CARICOM. Since 2018, the Indonesian ambassador in Paramaribo has also been accredited as the plenipotentiary representative of the Republic of Indonesia to CARICOM. Since then, Indonesia's engagement to CARICOM continues to grow. At this time, Indonesia is exploring to expand its market access and economic cooperation with CARICOM. Indonesia is exploring the possibility of having a trade facilitation for a greater business interaction between Indonesia and member countries of CARICOM. The government of the Republic of Indonesia also offered an online training course on disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation to CARICOM member countries, including Suriname, on August 12, 2022. And this training will be continued in a person meeting format. All participants will again be invited to attend the training in person to be held in Indonesia next year in 2022. If all member countries of CARICOM take the benefit of this offer, a total about 60 people will participate in this training from CARICOM member countries. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to further strengthen the engagement with CARICOM, the Indonesia G20 presidency invites the chair of CARICOM to attend G20 summit in November 2022. It is indeed an encouraging coincidence that the President of the Republic Suriname, Bapak Chandrika Persat Santokhi, is assuming chair of CARICOM in the period of July 1st to December 31st, 2022. In this regard, President Joko Widodo is delighted to welcome His Excellency Chandrika Persat Santokhi, the President of the Republic of Suriname, as the chair of CARICOM to attend the G20 summit on 15-16 November 2022 in Bali, Indonesia. It is indeed my sincere wish that apart from the attending G20 summit, His Excellency Chandrika Persat Santokhi, the President of the Republic of Suriname, could have an opportunity to have bilateral meeting with the President of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Joko Widodo, to further promote bilateral cooperation between the two countries. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I will not take more of your time. Hence, let me conclude these remarks by conveying my sincere appreciation and gratitude on behalf of the government and the people of Indonesia to His Excellency Chandrika Persat Santokhi, the government as well as the people of the Republic of Suriname, to keep making Suriname safe and conducive for all expatriates living in Paramaribo and surrounding, in particular to the Indonesian community, the staff of the ABC, and their family, and myself. Allow me as well to extend my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Business and International Cooperation of the Republic of Suriname, and all the staff for their kind assistance, support, and excellent cooperation rendered to us. Your full support really is the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Paramaribo in carrying out our mission. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my best wishes for the well-being and prosperity of the people of the Republic of Indonesia and the people of the Republic of Suriname, under the good and eternal friendship between the government of the two countries. I would like also to thank you all once again for joining us tonight. May God Almighty always grant His blessing to us all. I thank you and have a pleasant evening.